House hacking is officially dead in Florida. It makes no sense anymore. You're not making any money. There's too much headache and hassle. It's just not worth it. Yes, that's true. But on the flip side, is house hacking the best way to get started in real estate investing and the best way to live 100% for free? 1000%. And we're going to talk about both in today's video. And if you stick around to the end, we're going to talk about 3 different ways that you can actually make a lot more money with house hacking and the best ways to get started in it today in today's market in Florida. But before we do that, all I ask is that you hit the like and subscribe button so you're the first to know about everything going on, not only here in South Florida, but Florida in general. And for those of you who don't know, my name is Joe, and my team and I help people move all over the state of Florida. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, we'd love to be your real estate resource of choice. But now let's talk about house hacking here in the state of Florida. So I think first off, let's talk about what house hacking is. So house hacking is a great way to not only get started in real estate investing, but also to live for free. And the whole gist of house hacking is putting very little money down and then renting out, whether it's another unit or another bedroom, and being able to live for free. So this is kind of how it works, and I'll break it down for you. So the most common way to do house hacking is to use either an FHA 3.5% down loan or a VA 0% down loan. Then you're gonna buy either a single family house, a duplex, triplex, or quadplex, and you're gonna rent out, whether if it's a single family house, you're gonna rent out the other bedrooms, and if it's a duplex, triplex, or quadplex, you're gonna rent out the other units. And the whole goal of this is to either pay almost the entire mortgage every single month or to pay the entire mortgage every single month and make a little bit of profit. And then you roll this over and keep doing it year after year after year and build your renter portfolio. And one of the most common ways to do it is buying a duplex, triplex, or quadplex like that one, living in one of the units and then renting the rest of them out, because then you're not sharing the home with roommates. You're kind of separated from each other, and it makes a lot more sense. But in Florida, is it really making a whole lot more sense? And that's the problem that we're really running into right now, especially. In Florida, we're running into a couple different issues, especially here in South Florida. So number one is the pricing. The average sales price right now for a multifamily property is $725,000. So even if you're putting 3.5% down or 0% down, I mean, that monthly payment's a whole lot, and you're not gonna command the rent in these kinds of units to make it make sense. So at the end of the day, the numbers just don't make sense, and you're having to come out of pocket a lot more money than you originally thought. The second biggest issue that we're facing right now is a lot of these units and buildings actually need a whole lot of repairs. They're beat up, let's be realistic. They are being rented out, they're investment properties. They're not being taken care of like that of a single family house. So a lot of them need a whole lot of repairs, number one. They're needing new roofs, and they're needing new AC and major appliances. And a lot of that is very difficult to do with financing, especially FHA and VA. However, it's not impossible to do it. It just makes it a lot more difficult. So think about it. If you're going to buy a house and now all of a sudden you got to spend $20,000 to $60,000 to put a brand new roof on it, it's going to be a lot more difficult for those numbers to make sense than a property that already has a brand new roof. And these properties that have brand new roofs are a lot more expensive, and that's why the average sales price is that much more. So that's the issue that we're running into. On top of that, the insurance for these homes isn't cheap either. So that also digs into some of your profit as well as your revenue as well. So like I said, we're gonna talk about 3 ways now that you can actually make house hacking make sense for you and your situation here in Florida. I think the first way is to either put more money down or to buy your rate down. In either situation, you're gonna have less of a monthly payment, and that way you're gonna be able to not only not have as much stress about like, hey, am I gonna make this payment, but you're also gonna be able to kind of cover more of that mortgage payment with the rents as well. I would say probably buying down the rate personally would be the move I would go with and keep more cash in my pocket instead of putting more money down. Number 2 is to look at different areas in Florida, especially if you can work remote. I mean, obviously if you live in South Florida and you work here, it's kind of hard to go live somewhere else. But if you do have that flexibility or you're looking to move to Florida and you can kind of pick wherever, I would definitely look at more affordable areas. So like for example, Central Florida, the average sales price for a multifamily is $425,000. Other great areas in Florida are like that of college towns like Gainesville, Tallahassee, even the Tampa area, or even going down to like Fort Myers and Punta Gorda. They're also great areas to kind of get started in house hacking where you're not spending a ton of money on the property compared to South Florida, but you're also going to be able to command good rents. One of the trade-offs though is the rents definitely are not as strong as that of South Florida. I mean, and you're also not as strong as that of single family homes. So let's get that straight off the bat. I mean, you're not going to be having a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom duplex or triplex and be bringing in $3,000 or $4,000 a month. It just doesn't make sense, especially for a long-term rental. And the last way to definitely make more money with house hacking is to get creative with it. One of the best ways you could do is probably buy a duplex, triplex, or quadplex. Probably buying a triplex or quadplex and then get creative with it. So live in one unit, rent one of those units out long-term, and then rent out the other or other 2 units short-term. So you can rent them on like Airbnb and VRBO. You can do traveling medical professionals, or you can even do student housing. And this way you're getting creative with it. You're having that long-term income in one of the units, but you're also being able to generate a little bit more income getting creative with that 3rd or 4th unit. Another way to get creative with it as a bonus is to look at single-family homes with an ADU. And you're probably wondering, what the hell is an ADU? So an ADU is an additional dwelling unit, and with this, it's kind of just a little separate studio or like an apartment that's attached to that single family house or on the same lot. And this way you can live in that unit and then rent out the single family house, or vice versa, live in the single family house and rent out that unit. And just get creative with it and try to find a way to make a little bit more money for your property and potentially live for free. So that's why house hacking is dead here in the state of Florida. Is it dead completely? By no means is it dead. It'll always be around, but it's just getting harder and harder for people to do it and make money and live for free, which is the ultimate goal. So let us know in the comments down below. Do you still think house hacking is a good idea here in South Florida, or are there other areas in Florida that you think are best for house hacking? And if you or anyone you know are looking to move not only to Florida for house hacking, but to Florida in general, we'd love to be your real estate resource of choice. You can email, call us, text us, DM us, whatever's easiest for you, we got you.